You need to hear this if you're a history buff or just want to survive the cold. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, like and share so you never miss a forgotten survival secret. In World War II, the enemy wasn't always a soldier. Sometimes it was the cold, silent, relentless and everywhere. It crept into foxholes, stalked soldiers on frozen marches and claimed lives not with violence, but with a slow, numbing drain of warmth. From the Eastern Front's bitter winters to the damp nights in the Ardennes, soldiers fought not just the enemy, but the environment. Hypothermia, frostbite and trench foot could incapacitate a soldier as effectively as any wound. A shivering man can't aim. A sleepless frozen unit can't fight. The cold turned a soldier's own body against him, shutting down circulation to extremities, leading to confusion, lethargy, and sometimes a final fatal sleep. Survival became a daily struggle of resourcefulness. Victory wasn't just about firepower, but endurance. Soldiers learned that the smallest details, how to stay warm, could mean the difference between life and death. Endurance meant holding on to that fragile spark of life against the overwhelming, indifferent cold. Soldiers quickly learned that piling on blankets wasn't enough. The real threat was beneath them. The ground, frozen or wet, acts as a massive heat sink, relentlessly drawing warmth from anybody in contact with it. Lying directly on the earth, even with blankets, was a losing battle against the planet itself. This process, conduction, meant a soldier's warmth was constantly siphoned away. Wet ground made things worse. Water conducts heat away 25 times faster than dry earth. Soldiers often woke up colder and more exhausted, their energy stolen by the ground. The solution wasn't more blankets, but breaking contact with the earth. Insulation under the body became critical, trapping air to prevent heat loss. This realization shifted survival strategies. What you put under you mattered most. Soldiers needed a reliable portable barrier to insulate themselves from the treacherous ground. The focus turned to finding or making something that could truly keep the cold at bay from below. WWII soldiers had modern gear, down sleeping bags, marvels of insulation in dry conditions. But down's weakness was moisture. Once wet, it lost all insulating power, becoming a cold, soggy liability. Even dry, the down under a soldier's body compressed, losing its loft and effectiveness against the ground. The top stayed warm, but the bottom offered little protection. The best sleeping bags failed to solve the problem of conductive heat loss. Soldiers turned to an ancient solution, the ground mat. Woven from reeds, grasses, or pine boughs, these mats resisted compression and trapped air between the body and the earth. The mat's rigid structure did what sleeping bags could not, severing the conductive link to the ground. In the wet, unforgiving conditions of war, this low-tech solution proved far more reliable. Sometimes the simplest tools were the most effective. Why did a mat of woven grass outperform advanced sleeping bags? The answer lies in nature's design. Reeds and rushes have a honeycomb structure, tiny air-filled cells protected by a waxy water-resistant skin. Air is a poor conductor of heat, and these sealed chambers trap warmth. A thick mat, woven from reeds, is a system of millions of miniature air barriers. Even when some reeds are crushed, the mat's structure keeps insulating air pockets intact. Dried grasses work similarly, creating a lattice that traps air in countless small spaces. The tighter the weave, the better the insulation. Unlike down, which collapses when wet, reed mats resist water and compression. Even damp, the core stays dry and full of trapped air. Nature's engineering provided robust, reliable insulation, perfect for the harsh realities of the field. Moisture was a constant enemy. Rain, snow and mud could ruin most gear. Reed mats, however, were naturally water-resistant thanks to the waxy cuticle on each stalk. Woven together, this effect multiplied, keeping the mat's core dry even on sodden ground. Unlike blankets or down bags, reed mats didn't become heavy, frozen burdens. After rain, soldiers could shake off surface water and reuse the mat immediately. The mat's structure allowed airflow, helping moisture evaporate and preventing condensation. It stayed light, dry and insulating, crucial for survival. The reed mat was an active defence against the damp, keeping soldiers warmer and drier. The reed mat's genius was its versatility. It provided critical insulation for sleep, but also served as a dry seat, a communal floor, or a makeshift door to block wind and rain. Mats could be used as stretchers for the wounded or as splints for broken limbs. For a soldier in shock or hypothermia, being placed on a mat could save their life. The mat's uses were limited only by a soldier's ingenuity. Woven from local plants, it doubled as camouflage, blending into the environment, concealing positions or equipment. It could be draped over helmets or shoulders for personal concealment. The reed mat was warmth, comfort and tactical advantage in one, simple, elegant and indispensable. Sometimes the best solutions are those nature provides. The skill of making a ground mat is as relevant today as ever. In any survival situation, creating a barrier between you and the cold ground is essential. Gather tall, stiff plants, cattails, reeds or tough grasses, dry them if possible, then weave them tightly together using cordage or twine. Lay 2 cords parallel, place reeds across and twist the cords over each reed to lock it in place. Continue packing reeds tightly until the mat is wide and long enough for your body's core. Tie off the ends, roll it up, and you have a lightweight, portable insulator. Unroll it before sleeping to stay warm and dry. This simple skill connects you to ancient survival knowledge. Sometimes the oldest solutions are the most reliable. Today we have high-tech sleeping pads and synthetic bags, but they all depend on complex supply chains. If you're caught without them, you can't improvise one in the wild. The reed mat's virtue is independence. Materials are found in the landscape, and the skill is in your hands. In a true emergency, this knowledge is more valuable than any gear left at home. Reed mats are field repairable and biodegradable. If damaged, just weave in new reeds. If abandoned, they return to the earth. This sustainability stands in contrast to petroleum-based equipment. The comparison isn't about comfort, but resilience and accessibility. The reed mat is a baseline of survival, available to anyone with the right knowledge. It reminds us that not every problem needs a modern solution. Sometimes the most empowering answer is the one nature has offered for centuries.